What up, though? It's your boy Counts, aka Contel Bradford, here to attempt another video synopsis on a new book I just recently dropped called The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me. Now, this is a new book, but it's actually based on a very old story. In fact, one of my oldest stories that was included in my first official book called Dark Decisions. It was basically an anthology that consisted of three stories, and this was among them. This was back when I was selling books in the most ghetto do-it-yourself faction. I had them in like a fucking trapper keeper and shit. I printed them up, punched holes in the pages, made a fucking bootleg cover for them, and went around selling them with pride, not realizing just how foolish I looked. And then I downsized those. I downsized that book into a book that looked a little more realistic, even though I did put it together myself by hand. It looked more like a real book. It was still called Dark Decisions, but it had two stories instead of three, and this story was among them. Back then, the title was called The Breakdown. I decided to change the name and change a few elements, you know, make the name a little bit more appealing. The new title is actually based off Master P's album, The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me. I just thought the name was a little bit more appealing and it kind of fit the story, the working storyline in the book. So, what is this story about? Well, it's about a young man named Dave. He actually has a lot of me in him, the old me, back when, I was just returning from a state-sponsored vacation, trying to get my life together as a young man, about 20, 21 years old. That's where Dave is at. Things seem to be going well for him, well enough. He's got a job, he's got a car, he's got a crib, he's got a woman he's in love with. All seems well enough. Then one day, he has the worst possible luck ever. His car breaks down on the way to work, which is unfortunate for him because he tricked off all his sick and vacation time. So one more absence and he's fired. And his boss is a dickhead, so there's little to no leeway in that regard. So not only that, he gets home and finds out that his relationship status isn't as tight or strong as he once thought it was. And not only that, he walks to the store to get some relief to smooth out this day or whatever, sort of reward himself, take some of the stress, pressure, and pain away, only to encounter a trio of thugs who are dead set on bringing the beef. They want that smoke, as the kids today would say. Now, these guys, they're not only some thugs, they are gang members. They recognize Dave by his colors he happens to be sporting. He's a former gang member, but he's no longer active in the gang. But when you in this lifestyle, people don't give a fuck whether you active or not. If they see you wearing certain colors and they're in the gang, they're automatically going to peg you as belonging to one set or another. So right here, shit really goes downhill from here. Goes downhill for Dave, and it's like non-stop from there. This situation with the three dudes, it just kicks off a chain of events that just fucking takes Dave's life from promising to disastrous to the point where his very survival and freedom is in jeopardy. Now, when I first wrote this story, I had it take place over the course of a week. So I decided to make it all go down in one day just to sort of amplify the severity of what's going on and to highlight just how bad my man's luck really is. I mean, I like to think I'm a bad luck motherfucker, but nobody can have luck this bad or can it? So that may be kind of a fictional aspect, you know. I just kind of pumped it up to make shit seem even fucking worse. To stress that shit is really fucked up for this guy right now, and to sort of justify some of his actions because his back is against the wall. He's going through it, and he has to take some drastic measures to get his own fucking street justice, more or less. I like to consider this story in its current form as like Boys in the Hood meets Falling Down. You may be familiar with Falling Down. It's an old movie, early 90s, starring Michael Douglas. He was like a regular fucking white collar, average everyday Joe. And he had a bad day and he just fucking snapped in the middle of traffic and he just fucking lost his shit and went off. And so that's pretty much Dave in this situation, man. He snaps. Pressure of what's going on in his life causes him to make some very bad life altering decisions, which he feels is justified, but you know, you can only justify so much, especially when you're taking it to the extreme like that. So, like many of my old stories, I felt the need to rewrite this pretty much word for word because I feel I have improved a great deal in terms of the quality of my writing. While I was very proud of my older work, I would be very embarrassed if someone read that original story how I wrote it back then. So this one, it has the tweaked elements, you know, condensing it from a week to a day, and it also has much tighter writing, in my opinion. So I like to think it would appeal to a wider audience, even though I know these type of books are generally read by people who like to read urban fiction, aka street lit, AAA hood books. But you know, I like to think if people gave my story a chance, no matter what you like to read, I like to think that you would appreciate it. You would recognize the quality of the writing, appreciate the story and what's going on, whatever, whatever. So that's the gist of it. The ghetto's trying to kill me. It's a short story, roughly 25,000 words, so it shouldn't take you too long to read it. As always, I encourage you to go out and support this book, read it, leave a review on it, even if you think it sucks, you're not feeling it, that's fine. I mean, I welcome all feedback, even bad reviews, man. It might even help me tighten up future projects, you know, even though I like to think that my stories are good to go as is. I do take all feedback into consideration, and I'm very open to constructive criticism. So, The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me, it is now available on Amazon, available for your Kindle reading device or phone or whatever. It'll soon be available on Smashwords, which of course distributes books to various other online platforms. So be on the lookout for that soon. And hey, this is only one of several more new books I'm going to be dropping in the near future in 2021 alone. So be on the lookout for that and let me know what you think about it. Peace.